Hello, tribe. Welcome to today's masterclass. We are going to talk about how to honor your menstrual and energy cycles as a woman and as a survivor of trauma and or abuse. I am so freaking excited for this masterclass. This is the first time that I publicly talk about this topic. This has been life-changing for me, and I hope that this is life-changing for you as well, not only for your healing journey, but also for your journey to success and to have a better life, more fulfilled. Listen, you are at the right place. If you have been feeling exhausted lately, you have experienced burned out, you want to know more about how does your energy work, how does the menstrual cycle work, because let's face it, as women, it's only recently that we've been having this information. And for me, as I said, it was life-changing to learn all that. So this is a type of masterclass that honestly, if you are a woman, welcome home, because you need this. Because most of us have been through some sort of trauma, and most of us have been, disconnected from our body, and we are just not aware of this information. So today you are going to learn a few things about how the menstrual cycle works. We are going to also talk about the different energy types, because everyone has a different sort of energy to themselves and the cycle of the energy. And this is going to change everything for you in the way that you go about your goals and in the way you do your healing journey, everything basically. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Now, if you are ready, I want to see you in the comments. Please comment ready. I see Stacy logged in. I see a few other people also logged in. Let me know in the comments if you are here, say hello. And also, if you are catching this on the replay, comment hashtag team replay. Some of you already said that you are catching the replay, that you're looking forward to it. So in my mind, you are here and you are also in my heart. Are you ready to dive deep? Because I am so freaking ready. I think everything is okay with the sound and everything. Okay, good, because I now am so much more familiar with this setting, and I am very excited. Okay, so let's dive right deep into this, shall we? So right now, what you are watching is a series of 3 self-care mastery sessions for survivors that are going to be available for a limited time only. So if you haven't watched the first and the second masterclass, go ahead and just go and watch this, of course, after this one. Listen, dropping the strong one persona, I think it was one of my most powerful masterclasses. So if you want to start there, go ahead, okay? Go ahead. After watching this masterclass. So we spoke about how to take strategies for aligned action and consistency in the first week. Last week we spoke about dropping the strong one persona, and today is going to be all about understanding your energy cycles so you can plan a life around you. All right, let's dive deep into this. If you don't know me by now, my name is Erica. I am an empowerment coach for survivors. I know that for some of you, this is like the 3rd time I introduce myself, but in case there is someone new, I'm an empowerment coach for survivors, which means that I help survivors truly thrive in life, not only on their healing journey, but also on their journey to success. Because eventually, nothing against the healing journey, but some of us are ready to just take that step forward, and I am here to help you. What's different about me? I am trauma conscious. I'm a survivor myself. So every time I'm coaching you to taking you to the next level, I am taking your experience into consideration, okay? I'm a certified life coach here in Spain. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher. I did my certification in India. I'm also a writer. A book is on the way. And yeah, this is a little bit about me. Let's dive deep. I'm so excited. Let's dive in. Okay, so first I wanted us to start about in this place here, why learning about our menstrual and energy cycle matters. I really wanted us to focus on this because this is important, and I think it's more important than we believe. And I tell you this because I spent most of my life kind of unaware of my energy levels, and I did a lot of healing and everything. But it was only about 3 years ago that I actually started focusing on my menstrual cycle and my energy cycles and like really leaning into it. And it was completely life-changing, as I said, like 3 times already, but you get my point, right? So why should we learn? Why is this information so important? This information is really important because some of us that been through abuse, difficulties in life, right? We were forced or taught to disconnect from our bodies. When we talk about the menstrual cycle, this is something that is very, intimate, and it's something that we should all have the right to be connected to, right? Hi, Mia. Yes, so good to have you here. It's really important to us to be connected, right, with our menstrual cycle and our bodies. And some of us with trauma, we had this forced disconnection, right? We were taught to not listen to our body. We had to not listen to our body in order to survive, right? But that's not the reality right now. Right now, we're healing. I think it's important for us to talk about this, is that this is how you are going to achieve healthy success in life. Okay, so if you want to achieve, like, I don't know, the $1 million success, grind, hustle, obviously this is not the masterclass for you because you will be ignoring your body, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about you achieving healthy success. And this has been such a beautiful tool for me in achieving what I want, meaning like, I have quit my job. I became an entrepreneur full-time, right? I am writing my book. Like, I have all of these goals and these things that I am achieving. And to be honest, everything started to go pretty well when I started to honor my body, to honor my cycle and my energy levels. So this is why it's important. And also, we owe it to ourselves to reconnect. As I said, I'm a yoga teacher, so I'm also about you honoring your body, your mind, and your soul. Like, healing does not going to happen if we don't consider the body, if we don't consider the soul. So, and we owe it to ourselves to really reconnect and have that relationship. So it's time for us to just reclaim it, right? Oh, hi, Gaia. So happy everybody's connecting. So let's just dive a little bit deeper into what are the consequences, okay, of you being like, okay, you know what, Erica, I don't care about the energy. I don't care about anything. What are the consequences of it? If you're here, you do care. But as I said, sometimes we don't understand how important that is. And I was really guilty of it. So what are the consequences of not learning anything about your energy cycles, of not learning anything about how your menstrual cycle works? Burnout and exhaustion, because you're going to do more than you are supposed to do. So you're going to burn yourself out. And I'm not only talking about physical, I'm also talking about emotional burnout. It's very severe. That's not what we want. And exhaustion. I'm talking also about having a lack of motivation, right? Because what happens when we don't realize our energy cycles is that we're going to start something. If you start something right before your period, it's going to be very difficult to keep up with the motivation, because that's not the right time to start something, right? Emotional frustration. How many of you were really struggling with your emotions, and then you realize after your period just went away, you realize that, oh, actually, this was all my period? Like, how many times? I want to see raise of hands. If you can put it in the comments, I would love to see some raise of hands, because this happens a lot, right? And you may face these problems understanding your needs because there's not connection, and you will fail to achieve your goals because you are doing things at the wrong time. You are pushing too hard and it's not the time, and all of that. So these are the consequences that we don't want it to happen. And today we are promising to ourselves that we're done with this shit, okay? Yes, I'm cursing. Are we done with this? Yes? Okay, I see hands, which is exciting, amazing. All right. So we've been lied to, okay? We've been lied to, and you have no idea how much I'm enjoying this masterclass because I love that we are actually talking about this topic, and it's about time that we talk about this. And I just love being able to say out loud the word menstruation and period and be okay with it. Okay, this is me owning also my taking back my power. But you know what? We've been lied to. Okay. The lie here is that the 24-hour cycle is the way to go, right? You wake up, you're full of energy. Come on. How many of us wake up and we're anxious and we need to regulate? Yeah? And then throughout the day, you get even more energy, you're pumped up, and in the evening, pump, close the shop, and down we go. That's not how it goes, right? That's not how it goes. I mean, on some days, yes, maybe when you are on your like 24-hour cycle. But this is not the only way to go, okay? There's a different way of doing things, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. We've been told that our energy levels must be consistent throughout the month. That's not true. That's a complete lie. And we really bought into it because that's how society is made, right? You go and you work from 9 to 5 and you're there and you're supposed to just give always the same energy, always be the same. Otherwise, what's wrong with you, right? And my favorite, just use a tampon and you'll be riding horses and smiling. I don't have to explain this one, right? It's infuriating. That's not how it works. And we all know that that's not how it works. Stacy is saying programmed. Yes, we have been programmed to believe in all these lies. And if you're sitting down and thinking, okay, I don't have a period, this doesn't apply to me, it still applies to you. If you're human, this still applies to you, okay? We're not supposed to be machines. I'm trying to take Stacy's comment and now I can't. How do I do it? Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the truth. Let's talk about the thing that is actually going to liberate us. The truth is that we all have a unique energy, cycle, and type. We all have a unique type of energy. When you know somebody, you know that they have a certain type of energy, right? And when you meet someone, you probably unconsciously realize that they have this energy cycle, that sometimes they're up and sometimes they're down, and sometimes they're energetic and sometimes they're not, right? And that's how it's supposed to be because everything in this universe goes in cycle. Everything. If you look at the universe, everything goes in cycles. We have spring, autumn, right? Summer, winter. We have the flowers, they bloom, and then the trees. Everything just has a life cycle, right? And tiny cycles inside of it. And the truth is that you can be successful while you are honoring yourself. Me, it's like I have never liked tampons. Like, you know what? Like I hate them right now. I hate them. I hate them. So you can be successful while honoring yourself. How do I know that? I've been practicing it. Am I a millionaire or billionaire already? I don't know if I can be that type of successful. I have no idea, but I think so. Why not? You know, there's this, oh my gosh, I forgot her name. There's this beautiful athlete. Please help me in the comments, what's her name? I wrote a blog about her, but she is an Olympic athlete and she's all about self-care and she has been through trauma. And I wrote an article about her and I can't remember her name, but she's extremely successful. She's got Olympic medals, right? And she honors herself. So I believe we can do it. Do you believe? Do you believe it? Or at least you are starting to believe that you can be successful while honoring yourself? Because I totally do. Simone Biles, yes. Thank you, Jesus. That's Simone Biles. You're so right. Okay, so now that we know the truth, let's dive a little bit deeper. in the energy types and cycles. Okay, so here's the thing. As I said, we all have a certain energy type. What does that mean? That we have this aura within us, this energy, right? And we all have a cycle. So what does that mean? That some people have this fiery energy where it's like quick, intense, but then it wears off. Some people are just like slow, soft, and steady, but they just achieve everything at their own pace. This reminds me of my partner. My partner is very breezy because he takes his time, but he gets there, you know? And some people have this energy that comes and goes, and you are connected to your energy. It's kind of like a wavy energy. So these examples that I put here are not set on stone. This is just my way of communicating the different energies and cycles that I see around, my friends, my family, the people that are around me, my clients. I see how they work. And when I am coaching someone, I like to know what type of energy they have so I can give them tools that actually work for them. Because if you're like slow and soft and steady and you need to take time for everything, I'm not going to put you in a like 3 weeks intensive when we're working like crazy. But if you're fiery, I'm going to say, okay, this week we're going to focus on this. You know what I mean? And I want you to also use this for yourself and reflect, what type of energy am I? What type of energy do I give? Are you giving wavy? Are you giving fiery? Or are you giving breezy? Or are you giving a mix of them? What is energy is it that you're giving? And how are these cycles that you experiment with your energy? I think this is beautiful for you to understand. This was really important for me to understand, especially when I started working full-time for myself. Because before I was working for a school, I was a school teacher. I was teaching for whole school years, right? And when I started working for myself, I had to figure out, okay, what is the type of energy that I give? How do I work? Because sometimes I would, work with coaches and or mentors or business people that would tell me to do certain things that didn't align with my energy, so it never worked. So in me learning my energy helped me, find a way of working in my business, honoring myself, booking calls at certain times, and all of that. Mia is saying, and I'm gonna place your comment here because that's for sure what happened to me. This can definitely help me while working my business, figuring out my 100%, Mia, like 100%. For me, it changed. It completely changed because I started going against myself and I started working for myself and with my energy. Oh my God! And my way of showing up was just completely different. Really, it's like, I think that you've been following me. If you have been following me for years, and some of you have been following me for some time, you probably have noticed the difference in how I show up. So these are the energy types and cycles that I have observed. There are many more. And you should be able to define what your energy is. I'm not here to tell you what it is. I am here to make you think, right? As a coach, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you, to figure out what is best for you, to coach you throughout. And I hope this is working. Now, let's talk about the menstrual cycle. I'm so excited I'm teaching you this. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I've been sitting on this information for years. So let's talk a little bit about the menstrual cycle. I know some of you will be familiar with this. Some of you need kind of like a refresher so you can know more about it. And some of you never know anything. Some of you don't know anything about this. That was me about 3 years ago. I didn't know this, and we need to know this. Okay, so let's talk about the menstrual cycle. So our cycle is between 25 to 28 to 35 days, okay? This is what experts consider healthy. Mind you, I'm an empowerment coach. This is things that I have researched and that I am giving to you. Feel free to do more research because this is a huge topic, right? So you have this menstrual cycle that is going to start at the time that you have your menstruation. Got your period? Welcome to the follicular phase, all right? So the follicular phase is all about fresh starts, expansion, creativity, right? And when you start the follicular phase, you don't have a lot of energy because it's your period. You're supposed to rest, okay? And I'm saying this because we need to rest on our period. Even if you rest only one day, like you need to take this day or an afternoon or a morning to really cater to yourself and your needs, because you are going through a huge transformation that your body goes through every month, right? So this is where the follicular phase starts. And as you go through the follicular phase, you are going to start and feel more energetic. So what does that mean? That means that like your energy is going to come, show up better, and you will want to do things. So this is the perfect time to start like a new thing, go to the gym, do this, just start something new, something energetic. And this is where our favorite phase, the ovulatory phase, which is where we have loads of energy, this is what it happens in the first half of your cycle, okay? Everybody's different. So your follicular phase may be a little bit longer or shorter depending on your cycle. Okay? Am I explaining this correctly? This is like the first time. Is everybody on the same boat? So this is your follicular phase. Okay, so here starts in your menstruation, and then and your energy starts going up, 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 and then there is ovulatory phase, full on energy, go ahead, lift those weights, do everything that needs a lot of strength, right? And then what happens when you enter the luteal phase is that your energy is gonna start fading. You will see that in the beginning you're fine, you're okay, you're still energized, but then it's more autumn energy. So you're slowing down, you're finishing up tasks, you are kind of turning inward. And why does that happen? Because your body is preparing for your period. So before your period, you're going to feel like this low mood. You're going to think your life sucks. You will want to end your relationship. All of that comes in this beautiful phase towards the end. That's when we experience PMS. And we need to talk about this because this is the end of the luteal phase is very critical, because that's when you start getting into a more depressive and anxious mood. And if you already have this tendency to be more depressed, or if you experience anxiety often, then you are going to it's going to be a little bit worse, or even way worse. There's a syndrome, an actual syndrome, and it has a name, I don't remember, but there's a syndrome for people who experience enhanced, mental health problems during their period, but you may be experiencing it, right? I love that we're talking about this, because now, isn't this such a relief? Like, isn't this good? Because even when you are on your period and when you have your pain, you're going to be thinking, oh, hold on, this is just my period. I am not crazy. This is not whole trauma came to haunt me, right? Because this is the thing. Sometimes I was pre-period, I was just PMSing, and I used to think that my healing journey was going backwards. And in reality, it was just my period that was about to come. And that brought me so much relief, like a lot. Oh, before I get into the strategy, just want to check in with yourself. I see in the comments, I see that amazing. Oh, thank you, Mia. Okay, cool. Cool. So if you are thinking that, okay, I don't have a menstrual cycle right now, I'm past that phase, I'm very irregular, there are some things that you can do. Actually, if you are irregular, you can still manage, because I'm pretty irregular, and with the app, I can still manage it, because it's always going to vary between like a couple of days for me. And if you don't have your menstrual cycle, follow the moon cycle. That's what a lot of people do. As I said, we're not robots. We're not supposed to be on 24/7. So if in your case you don't have a menstrual cycle, you may want to take a look at the moon phases and just go with the moon phases, because we have 4 phases of the moon. Like we have here menstruation, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. You have the 4 phases of the moon as well, and you can organize your life with this. If you want to see, if you want like an example of how this may look like, and I'm so glad that Stacy and Mia that you are here, because I have the perfect example and you will know exactly. Yes, Stacy. Yes, go with the moon. Yes. If you I have the perfect example of how you can use like your menstrual cycle phases, and if you've been through my 21-day self-care summer challenge, it was completely organized around my menstrual cycle. I've started in my follicular phase. I started welcoming people when I was in like my menstruation days. I started easing people into the group and into my follicular phase. I knew that my energy was gonna go up. So I was ready to start delivering the masterclasses, because I was going to have more energy. And now that I am getting into the late luteal, I am ending the challenge. Okay, so this is how I made it work for me. And if you want more examples, or if you have questions, drop them in the comment and I will answer, because this can go so many ways. This is the type of thing that it's so good to talk to you in a session, because then I can just like break it down for you, and it's good. But I hope that this is good for you. It's good enough for you already. I think so. Now, let's talk about strategies to help you honor your cycle and kick some ass. Also, tribe, at the end, now that we were talking about the self-care summer challenge, at the end of this masterclass, I am going to give away some prizes to my ladies who show up to the challenge. I'm so excited. Okay, so are you ready to check the strategies to honor your cycle and kick some ass? Because you know what? We're not here just to kumbaya, my lord. We're here to kick some ass as well. I want you to be really successful, okay? I'm not here just to help you heal. I really want you to be successful, whatever that looks for you. Stacy, so give yourself grace. Lol. I'm not good with that. Then you will start being good with that. Yeah, you are consuming all of these masterclasses, and you started practicing already, and you will be good with that. It's gonna be okay. Okay, let's talk strategies to honor your cycle, your energies, and kick some ass. Okay. So strategy number 1, let's start from the beginning. Let's learn our energy levels. Let's learn how do you feel throughout your cycle? Because if you're trying to honor your energy cycles, then you will have to track how your energy cycles work, right? So the best way that I know how to do it is to really just journal about it, okay? Just every day, start on your menstruation day, and every day throughout your cycle, what you're gonna do is just write down, menstruation day, I felt this, my energy was low, my energy was high, and try to put on, as much information in there as you can. So you can have like a whole Bible on how your energy works. So you can do this for a couple of months. To be honest, I did it for a month and I was good with it. Okay, so strategy number 1 is to journal and track your energy levels and how you feel throughout your cycle. I'm laughing because of the comment. Okay, let me continue. All right. Strategy number 2 is to reprogram the beliefs you have around honoring your needs and your inner rhythm. Stacy said it pretty well. She was talking about how we have been programmed. Oh, hello, Andrea is joining as well. My little sis. And strategy number 2 is to reprogram the beliefs that you have around honoring your needs and your inner rhythm. We can all agree that we have a lot of limiting beliefs when it comes to honoring ourselves, when it comes to actually take the rest when we need to rest, right? And we need to do some work in reprogramming these beliefs. How can you do this? How can you do this reprogramming, right? Because it's not always easy to reprogram these beliefs because they have been there for a long time. The first thing that I want to tell you is that we really need to use self-compassion here, because it's not going to happen. Okay, now I have the awareness. Tomorrow I don't have this belief anymore. We really need to lean into self-compassion and reflect on what is it that I believe about rest. What is it that I believe? Because I remember the first time I heard about cycle syncing, right? Which is organizing your life around your menstrual cycle. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. That sounds really difficult, right? That sounds impossible. That's like for privileged people. I had all of these beliefs that I was never going to be successful if I was going to honor my body. Like, I have to grind. I was one of these people, right? So I had to do a lot of like inner search and have conversations with myself. And also, you know what? Prove myself wrong. Because sometimes it's not just about sitting and thinking about the things. It's about doing it differently and prove ourselves wrong, which is something that happened kind of like was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my business different. I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to do it the gentle way. That's how like my book was born and all of these movement was born, because I said, you know what, I want to do things differently and I'm going to see what happens. You know, I was willing to lose, but I was also so craving this alignment that I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And it works to honor yourself. So sometimes it's not just about sitting down and writing, this is what I believe, this is what I want to believe, and this is and just talk about it. If after you talk, like, eventually you need to stop talking and about doing, and you need to kind of like prove yourself and be like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to prove myself in my brain, my mind, and my body that it is safe to honor my needs, that it is safe to honor my inner unique rhythm, even when people have a complete rhythm than ours. You know, sometimes I would look at my partner and be like, oh my God, we're so different, right? But you know what? That's it. We are different now. And you know a funny thing? we are in the process of moving. We're going to buy a house far away. Anyway, it's a long story. But he was telling me about when we get to the new place, he really wants to work around my cycle so we can plan our vacation, hanging out with friends and all of that, and our working hard time, because we both work from home with different businesses. He was like, I want to do this with you, because he was also realizing that sometimes he doesn't honor his energy, which is slow and steady, and go full on. And that's so terrible for him. So he was like, okay, I want to follow your cycle. And look how amazing that is, you know? And before I was like, I need to follow somebody else's. And now I have somebody saying, oh no, let me hop in because I like your rhythm. Oh, thank you so much, Mia. I'm so excited. Yes, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. I'm going to be near Barcelona. Yeah. Okay, so this was strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is, whenever you can, I want to be really mindful, because I understand that not everybody can always schedule the tasks, right? And also, if that's what you want, if that's the freedom that you want, go ahead and work for it. Work to have your own business or to work from home or whatever that is, because you deserve that. You deserve that, right? So whenever you can, schedule tasks in alignment with your energy and with your menstrual cycle, right? Let's say, for example, you know that you have this important project. For example, like I knew that I wanted to do this 21-day challenge. I wanted to be there for my community for 21 days straight, right? I needed to schedule it around my energy, around how I work. Yeah. So think about the project, the things that you have coming, and whenever you can, just schedule it in alignment. If you know that your menstrual cycle is always coming on day X, don't book a lot of hangouts with people because you're going to have a terrible time. Unless you're eating chocolate with a friend on the sofa, it is crazy to have so many social commitments, at least for me when I'm on my menstrual cycle. You can always figure it out. How does that work for you? And also, I want to tell you, do not limit yourself and be like, oh, there's nothing I can do because I have a 9 to 5. And because when I had a 9 to 5, and I'm also thinking about a client that I had that was a nurse, we came up with ways that she could take control over what she scheduled besides the work, so we could honor her energy better, including seeing certain family members and stuff like that. And I think you can all relate. Yeah. Okay. And number 4, supercharge and supercharge and lean into each phase of your cycle in all areas of your life. Girl, go full on. Lean into it. You know what? Are you on your luteal phase and everything gets on your nerves? Just accept it. Everything gets on your nerves. But you know what's good about the luteal phase is that you get very introspective, is that you start having this need to organize things. And for example, when I'm on my luteal phase, I'm always like organizing documents. I don't want to organize documents ever. When I'm on my luteal phase, I do want to organize some things. And that is amazing. So I lean into it. And that goes with the strategy number 3, like schedule tasks. You will not want to sit down and look at documents on your ovulatory phase. You will want to be outside. So lean into it, go outside, do your networking when you are on your ovulatory phase, because it's perfect, right? And also, you know what? Menstruation phase is also perfect. I'm trying to kind of change my vocabulary about it, because it's like menstruation, luteal phase, terrible, and the rest is amazing. It's not terrible. It's just, it is what it is. And it also has its superpowers, you know? I'm sorry. What did you say, Stacey? I would apologize a week in advance to my boyfriend for the week. But that is amazing. But I find, you know what? I don't even see this as a joke or something funny. I would see it as like a conversation. You know what? Like, my period is coming. Like, don't take anything personally. Of course, try and regulate yourself, because poor boyfriend, right? But yes, let's have those conversations. Let's normalize this shit. I'm so tired of us just hiding that we're women. I love that. Okay. Strategy number 5. Regularly check in with yourself and your energy. Let's just have it as a practice, not only because of our cycle or anything. Let's just, in general, since we're all about reconnecting with ourselves, reconnecting with our body, have that mind-body connection. Let's just, check in with ourselves and our energy. Let's have maybe a morning journaling practice where you check in and you ask yourself, okay, how am I feeling today? What's the vibe today? One of the things that I do each week for my business, I have like a CEO report, and every Monday in the morning, I write down like what's the vibe this week, right? And I usually am like, okay, the vibe this week is just, do the bare minimum because I'm tired, menstruation is coming. And then I think about, okay, what is that bare minimum that is going to move the needle, that I'm going to feel like I have actually accomplished something and that it's going to be okay. Or maybe the vibe is like, I'm completely on fire this week, let's power up, right? So do these regularly check-ins so you know what is happening. Because sometimes when we decide to check in, we're already freaking exhausted. And it's like, why didn't I take a break before? I don't want this to happen to you. I want you to regularly check in with yourself and your energy so you're not caught off guard. I mean, you're going to be caught off guard sometimes because maybe sometimes it happens to me. I love my job and, I'm crazy. I do 21-day challenges with 3 master classes in the middle, plus coaching people in the messages. Yes, I'm crazy like that. And then I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. But you know what? It is okay. As soon as you regularly check in with yourself, and then you can start making decisions based on these feelings that you have. Is that making sense? Is that landing? Like, I would really love all of you that are watching this masterclass to start assimilating these concepts and to think about how you can apply them to you and to empower your journey, because all of this is going to propel your journey. And one of the things that I wanted to tell you in the beginning is that for me, honoring my energy levels, honoring my cycle, this is part of my strategy. This is part of my strategy to become successful and to be like an author, very cool coach, and all of that. My strategy is this is part of my strategy. It comes probably before everything else that I'm doing. All right. Very important. This is, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we have this here. Let's start thinking cyclically. Wow, I said the word right. I was thinking I would probably mess up this word. Let's think cyclic. I ruined it. Cyclically, not day by day. So we spoke about how the 24/7, the 24-hour cycle is not the only way to live. And I feel as women, sometimes we make this mistake of like, we are on our period, this is our menstrual or luteal phase. And what happens is that we start blaming ourselves, we start shaming ourselves because we're resting, we start thinking we should be doing something else, and we are focusing only on what happened that day or what happened that week. So I want us to start thinking in cycles, okay? So let's think about a 28-day cycle. If you know that 7 days out of that cycle, you're gonna be like, meh, right? You will not expect yourself to be full on 28 days going hard. So if you think in a cyclic basis, when you already get to your menstruation, you're going to be like, you know what, this is my resting time. Because for the rest of the cycle, I was doing X, Y, and Z. And another thing that I think I forgot to mention is that when we are working cyclically, when we are cycle syncing, you want to really, I spoke about leaning into the phases, but I really want you to think about really taking advantage of the phases, because I've experienced that I get more frustrated on my menstrual cycle if I didn't take advantage of the previous, time where I was actually energetic, but I was like, I'm going to do that later. Later is not going to happen because then your energy is going to be low. It is not going to happen, or it's going to take you 10 hours instead of 5 minutes. So let's start thinking more globally. Let's start thinking, yes, check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, but don't hyper focus on what you did today and this week. Think about it globally. And if you're feeling low, allow yourself to be like, okay, I am feeling low right now. So let me allow myself to feel low, because I know that 3 days from now, I'm going to be on freaking fire. And this always happens. It always happens. When you feel low, and you give yourself time to cry, process, think about it, journal, breathe, yoga, whatever that is that you need, rest, sleep, talk to someone. A couple of days after, you are on freaking fire. Let me know if you can relate. Show me your hands if you can relate to this. So think cyclically. Okay? I don't like this word. Let's run from it. And lastly, Andrea, this is a good idea. Andrea is saying that's a good idea. What is a good idea? I said so many things, now I forgot. And we have a little bit of a delay on the comments. So can you tell me what's a good idea? Okay. Number 7, set boundaries like a freaking queen. All right. And I always say setting boundaries is not putting up a wall, is an open door for you to help people who love you know how to love you, right? So set boundaries like a queen. Once you understand your energy levels and your cycles, you may want to have some days where you don't do anything and you don't want to be bothered. That's completely fine, and you are worth it. Okay, thinking in cycles. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what, Andrea? Like this is difficult right now because you're just hearing about it. But as you practice it more and more, it's going to be second nature to you. Because now every time somebody tells me something, they want to do something, I'm going to check my schedule. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. Yes, so setting boundaries like a queen is you knowing that boundaries are going to allow people to love you, the right way, and to honor your needs. So now that you know a little bit more about your cycle, you can bit by bit start setting boundaries around it. Because what usually happens is that if we're not working this way, if we're not navigating life this way, what's going to happen is that we're not going to set boundaries around our cycle because we just don't consider it, right? And we may overbook ourselves when we are on a luteal phase and with less energy, or maybe simple things like, for example, when I was working as a teacher, when I knew when I knew that my menstrual cycle was coming, I would organize my classes in a way where I don't have to put a lot of effort. So I would make kids come to the board and help me out and all of that. So I would be like, okay, this is not the time to work a lot. It was a boundary with myself. But if you set a boundary around you, your cycle, and other people, it's just, and sometimes we think boundary is kind of like a dirty word. It's going to be like, oh no, don't come near me. But it's like something like Stacy was saying, and being like, my cycle is coming, so I apologize if something, but then you can also say, please don't do X, Y, and Z. Let's talk about this later. I don't have the energy. Sometimes boundaries don't need to be like a whole, it's so scary. I know it's so scary, especially when we're not used to set boundaries. But we're always setting boundaries. We just don't realize it. And some boundaries, we just need to be aware that we need them, And that's it. That was strategy number 7. Oh my gosh. And now we have 10 minutes for the prizes. Actually, I don't need 10 minutes for the prizes. If you have questions, because I know this is a lot, I know this is a huge life change. And now you may want to read some books. Maybe, by the way, if you want, you can also book the Gentle Shift session with me. It's a free session and it's only available until September 7, very specific. You need to apply for it. And if you are a part of the tribe, hold on, because maybe you have a special prize that is even better than the Gentle Shift free session. But everybody outside our WhatsApp group that didn't do the 21-day self-care summer, If you are looking to uncover what is holding you back, if you know that there is this certain block that you want to release, then you can book a session with me and we can talk about it. If you were passionate about the menstrual cycle and all of this, we can talk about it as well and release a key block to help you, free yourself and shift into empowerment. This is only valid until September 7. I had 7 spots. They're almost all gone. So only a few spots left. How do you say? Scan the thing. Okay, scan the thing and book it. And next, this is so exciting. Okay, listen, I need some drum roll or something, please, in the comments, so I can announce the prizes. Drum roll, please. Mia is saying the boundaries will definitely be helpful. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, to honor yourself, you need, it's good to do the healing work and everything, but we need also people to be on board, especially the people around us. Where's my drum roll? Okay. So, I don't know if you are aware, let me change a little bit here. I don't know if you are aware of this wonderful challenge that we've had, the Self-Care Summer Challenge. It is over. It is going to come back next year. This year, we had our second cohort, and this challenge was on steroids because we had a task every day. And I have promised that the ones who showed up were going to receive a special prize. And I was so happy when I saw that, obviously, as it happens in these challenges, some people were just watching, which is fine. Some people were not participating, but I had some that were showing up almost every day, and it was freaking amazing. So I have 2 people who are going to be awarded with the Self-Care Badass Award and a special prize. And then I have, I think, 3 people, I'll have to double check, that are going to get also some prizes because they were awesome and I have to give them something. I'm a people pleaser. Okay, that's the first emoji that finally came up. Oh, what's happening with the emojis, ladies? They're not working. That's why I don't have drum rolls. Okay. Oh, Stacey, you cannot find your drum rolls. Okay, ladies, no worries. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. Okay, I found some drum rolls. I am going to stop doing the, Jesus, where's the drum roll? Ladies, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop playing. Okay, are you ready? First prize. The Self-Care Summer Challenge winners for 2025. These are the show up winners. So these ladies showed up. They didn't do all of the tasks, but their energy was there. They were checking in, and they are Andrea, Lydia, and Irene. All of you are going to get a 30-day self-compassion journal. This is one of my passion projects because I love journaling. And these are supposed to go on a store, on an online store, but I always end up just giving them in special occasions. So I think like a few clients have it. And then there is somebody who won a challenge that also have it. So you're like one of the few that are going to get that. But Andrea, oh look, Andrea is, of course, Andrea is here. So yeah, I'm going to contact you after, ladies, to check your email and make sure that you receive it. Okay, now these are the show up winners, but we have another. Oh my God. Okay, let's go. We have another prize to get. So everybody's going to get, no problem, Andrea. Thank you so much for being such good vibe and good energy and showing up for yourself. That's what happens. I'm just trying to teach you that that's what happens when you show up for yourself. And then we have our self-care badass winners that are Mia and Federica. They showed up every single day. I think that there was one day that Federica didn't show up, and it was the day that we had a bot. Do you remember, ladies? We had this bot coming and it was confusing for everybody. So Mia and Federica, congrats. You are the self-care badass winners of the 2025 Self-Care Summer Challenge. I appreciate you so much. Your gift is not only a 30-day self-compassion journal, but you are also going to have Mia, you remember the bot? I can laugh about it. I can laugh about it now, but it was one of the most annoying things ever. My soul left my body and came back, but I sorted it. It was like the longest 2 minutes of my life this year. So your prize is 60 minutes plus a 30-minute reset and rise session with me. So that means that we are going to work on doing a reset on your year so far, and then we're going to come up with a plan to help you rise and end this year in a way that it's really legendary, but also, I'm the gentle way lady, so it's going to be, of course, the gentle way. I will want to know what is it that you're working on, what I can support you with. So we're going to have a full-on 60-minute coaching session, and then we will have another 30 minutes one just to check in and to know how you are doing. And yeah, and you are getting the 30-day self-compassion journal as well. Ladies, listen, we've got to the end of our self-care mastery sessions. Let me place myself over here. Yes, I'm so excited too. I'm so excited too, and I have some ideas because you've mentioned your business. I kind of know what you are working on, so it's going to be so powerful. Amazing. So you know what, these past 21 days have been very exciting to me. I was a little bit absent because I was writing my book proposal and I was, selling my apartment and my partner's apartment. And I was just so busy and I wanted to give something to the community. And I'm just so excited about everything. Ladies, thank you so much. You are the freaking best. Everyone that won a prize, I promise you, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to check where do you want to receive your prizes and the dates for the sessions and everything. And I'm just so excited and grateful to this community. Amazing time, amazing vibes. Mia, the book is coming along well. I am doing, my 100 words a day, and sometimes I write a little bit more, but I am in this contest for Hay House. So if I win the contest, then I will have to maybe make some changes in the book, so I'm not writing too much. But anyway, I'm writing enough, so even if I don't win the contest, then I can go the other route. But it is getting along well, and it's just amazing. It's going amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you for asking. Andrea, thank you so much for this challenge, for your time and energy and sharing knowledge. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're hitting the mark of 60 minutes. So I think it's time to go. I'm kind of we're ending the challenge. Everyone, stay in the lookout because I am going to create more challenges coming forward. Obviously, the self-care summer challenge is going to be repeated next year because it was amazing, but it's going to be a little bit different because I'm taking feedback, and you know what, like I'm all for getting better. So yeah, stay tuned for the challenges coming in, and also do not hesitate to book the call with me. I spoke to you about the gentle shift call. Where is it? I spoke to you about the gentle shift call. Let me put it up so you can actually where is it? So you can actually see the code here. Do not hesitate. Seriously, I'm doing these only until September 7th. So if you want to take a taste of my coaching, do it. Scan the thing and do it. Okay? No strings attached. I forgot to tell you this. There's no strings attached in my world. If it aligns, I'm going to let you know if it aligns and if we vibe together. Okay? Goodbye. I'll see you on the next one, my beautiful, beautiful unicorns. You are the absolute best. Remember, you are worthy because what? Because you were born worthy. So start acting like it. Don't listen to the inner voice that says you can't heal, that you can't be successful. That's a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay? That's a whole bunch of bullshit. Yes, you can heal. Yes, you can succeed. And you are learning strategies. So go ahead, apply them, be gentle with yourself. Bye.